Good morning, Panthers. I'm Mrs. Peterson.
And I'm Miss Burton.
And I'm Mr. Aquino.
Just a couple things to keep in mind this week. First, remember to be on time to class. Remember that you must be seated in class with all your materials in order to not be tardy. Simply being in the room is not good enough.
Next, remember to walk bikes, scooters, skateboards, wherever there is pavement on campus. You must also be wearing your helmet for safety.
Next, know that the hallways do not open until 7:35 a.m. Please do not be at school earlier than that because there is no adult supervision.
Now, we have a couple of reminders from Miss McManigal and Mrs. Jacoby.
Good morning, Arden Panthers. I'm your interim principal, Miss McManigal.
I'm your interim administrator, Mrs. Jacoby, and we're here to talk to you about cell phones and mobile devices. So there have been some changes in the policy from last year, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so cell phones and mobile devices are not allowed to be used in the classroom unless you have specific permission from your teacher. If you violate the cell phone policy, your phone or mobile device might be taken away and it will come up to the office and we might have to disturb a parent to come and get it. What a shame that would be. The office is a cell phone free zone, just like your classroom, and you should not be using your electronic devices. So if you are coming up to the office for whatever reason, your phone and mobile device are not to be seen or heard even in the office. And please remember that we are not responsible if items are lost, stolen, or damaged. These are valuable items and you need to keep them in a safe place at all times.
Those are our guidelines that are rolling over from last year, and this year we have some new additions to our cell phone policy. So first, no cell phones or earbuds can be used or visible in the hallways for safety purposes. So the intent is you shouldn't be wearing them, and if they're earbuds, holding a cell phone in your hand. Even if you have a hood and your earbuds are not technically visible, you're still wearing them, and that's not allowed in the hallways at any time during the day. So anytime you're in the hallway, even if you're a TA running an errand for a teacher, your cell phone should not be visible, or you should not be on your cell phone. You shouldn't have your earbuds out or dangling from your shirt or in your ears. So even if you have a legitimate reason to be outside of class and you're running an errand for a teacher, that's still not an appropriate time to use your cell phones or earbuds.
So Ms. McManigal, can I just ask a question?
Yes.
This means that I can be using my cell phone on campus, outside of the building, before school or after school. But when I come into the building or the hallways, everything needs to disappear.
Correct.
Okay.
But even you should not have your cell phones or earbuds out during passing period if you're walking to the gym for PE or something like that. Also, as Ms. Jacoby mentioned, your phones need to be unused and out of sight along with your earbuds in classrooms unless you've been given specific permission by a teacher. So this means that each time you thought you needed to use your cell phone or wanted to look something up, you would have to request permission from your teacher. So if Mr. Rowland gave permission on a Tuesday, it doesn't mean that he gave you permission on a Wednesday to look something up on your phone.
So it also means that your devices are to be turned off. So what do I do if my phone is in my pocket, it's hiding, but it vibrates?
Good question. I would suggest letting your teacher know that you might need to turn your cell phone off so that it's not vibrating and distracting you from whatever is happening in class. And so then when you pull out your phone to turn it off, your teacher knows what you're doing and they don't think that you're violating the policy. There's a mature way to handle a situation that happens to all of us when we forget to turn our phones off.
So then that means you have to really power it down, because if you've just got it on off and it vibrates, that's going to disturb people.
Right.
Okay.
Power it down or put it on silent. Finally, what about at lunchtime? So phones are allowed at lunch, but never, again, never in the hallways. So during those 5 minutes when you're going to your locker and pulling your lunch out, cell phones are still not allowed, and they are not allowed in any of the lunch lines. So if you're waiting in the lunch line outside to go into the cafeteria, if you're standing in the cafeteria waiting to go inside the kitchen, and certainly if you're in the kitchen, no cell phones or earbuds should be visible, so that we're paying attention and getting through the line as quickly as possible, because we have a lot of students who get lunch at school and very limited lunch time. Okay, I think that's it. If you have any questions, Panthers, you know where to find us.
In addition to our new cell phone policy, there are some new passes that students must use when they are out of class.
Good morning, Arden Panthers. This is Lindsay McManigal, your interim principal. Today I'd like to chat with you about our new pass system. So if you are a returning Arden Panther, you might remember that last year, to be out in the hallways during class, your teacher had to sign your binder reminder. We have a more streamlined pass system this year, I think. So each teacher has these lanyards. If you're going to the library, it's yellow. Your teacher would give it to you and you would just slip it on and you'd head off to the library. This one is a bathroom pass. The green is if you're headed to the office, and the orange is just other, if you have some other reason to be in the hallway. So during class in the office, we will always ask to see your office pass. Otherwise, you'll have to go back to class, and so that we can verify that your teacher knows that you're in the office and that you have permission. Only one student, because each of your teachers only has one color of each, only one student can be sent out of class at a time. And also, no students are allowed in the hallways during the first 10 minutes of class and the last 10 minutes of class. So it's very important to use your passing period wisely, to go to your locker then and make sure that you have all of your materials so that you can be seated with your materials when the bell rings, so that you won't earn a tardy. My final reminder about being in the hallways at any time, not just during passing period, is that if an adult asks to speak with you about your reason for being out of class or asks your name, you need to always give them your name. So any adult on campus, if they ask you to identify yourselves, you should be doing so. Okay, that's it, Arden Panthers. Thank you and have a great day.
That's all for today, Panthers.
Have a great Friday.